What's up, y'all? This heard what's the word, and y'all already know this is not my typical video, but I wanted to talk about this case, Phoenix Coldon, because it hit home, and this happened in my hometown. You know, her car was found in my hometown, so I feel like, especially if she a black woman and nobody else putting it out for real, I feel like it's my job. You know, coming from my city, it's my job to go ahead and talk about this. You know, it'll help spread awareness. All right, so Phoenix Coldon, a 23-year-old, she disappeared December 18th, 2011, right? So just one day it had to be a Sunday because that day she went to church. She went to church with her mom, Godia, and you know, they say every day Phoenix was getting further and further away from her mom. So that's something weird to think about. Like, she kept on getting further and further away from her mom. So right after church, Phoenix and her mom go to the grocery store, and Phoenix had got a call. It could have been anybody. Phoenix had got a call, and her mom said it seemed like her mom is Godia, said she seemed like she just had an attitude on the phone, right? So she like, that's not how Phoenix act. Phoenix don't normally act like that. So whoever was on the phone must have pissed Phoenix off. So they get in the car, she slamming her door, and Godia like, you know, why she slamming doors? And she don't normally act like this. Okay, so they get home, and Godia, Phoenix mom, tell her dad like, Phoenix is acting weird and she slamming doors and things like that. So Goldie, her mom, told her dad, she said, you need to apologize to your mom for acting like this. She said sorry. So Phoenix went up in the room. She got ready. She was going outside to play basketball, right? So she going outside, she hooping, she very energetic, said she been out there for an hour. So it seems like, you know, nothing ain't going on right after that phone call, even though she was acting like that. Right after that phone call, she was acting pretty normal, getting the hoops in. She must have been a baller, you feel me? So right after that, she went back in the house, she got ready again, and she was proceeding to leave back out. Her dad is in the front room, and she walked past her dad, and ain't no telling what's going on. She ain't tell him, hey, I'm finna go to the store. Hey, I'm finna go to my friend's house. But he assumed, you know, she finna go to a friend's house across the street, or she finna go around the corner to the store. And they said it looked like she was on a mission. So she just probably focused. She walking out pretty fast, like she very focused on something. So they say she's sitting up in the driveway on the phone, like she ain't pull off until like minutes later. She's sitting in the driveway on her phone, and then like she pulled off, and then an hour or two, her car is found in East St. Louis, Illinois. Now, East St. Louis and St. Louis, Missouri, that is not too far away from each other. I know the Mississippi River divides them, so St. Louis and East St. Louis, Illinois, it's very close to each other. So they're about 5-10 minutes away from each other. So me personally, I know somebody had called and said they seen the vehicle on side of the road, said the car was on side of the road, and man, it haven't even been an hour. You know. Usually cars sit right there for a minute. They give them a warning, leave probably like a little sticker or a ticket or whatever, saying their car needs to be removed. Man, they got that car out of there in less than an hour. I don't think the car was sitting right there for more than 2 hours. So the car on the side of the road, somebody told them, you know, to come impound it. And the police officer arrived, and I know the police officer personally because I'm from East St. Louis, so I just seen him about last week or 2 weeks ago. So anyways, so he get there and he checked the vehicle out, and you know, it's always been rumors saying they left the door open. The engine was running. What else? The door open, engine was running, and her purse, her glasses was still in place. Don't look like nothing was organized. So it seems like she was dragged out of the car. But once Oxygen had did a documentary, like years later, they did a documentary because it was hard to get coverage, especially she being a black girl. It was hard to get coverage on something like this. You know, it's just hard for a black person to get coverage when they go missing. So like 6-7 years, Oxygen do a documentary and they get a whole bunch of new details, and they call the officer from East St. Louis up, and they say, you know, how was the car running? And he say, it always, like I said, it's always been rumors that the car was running and the door was open. They said, was the car running? He's like, no, the car wasn't running. Said, was the door shut? Like, yeah, the door was shut and everything looked like, he said the car looked like it just ran out of gas, you know. So it's like, it's been so many rumors that was going on, and it's like 6-7 years later they find out this, and it's like, it just changed the whole narrative. Like, dang, like it's too late. Most likely it's too late to be gathering all this information, because ain't no telling what they could have did now. Like, everything changed, and it's so many theories out there. Like, one theory is, you know, they said her mom was kind of like the old school mom, so her mom was always on her a lot. Said she could have ran away, like she planned this. And in my head, you know, I don't think that happened, and she just an old school mom, so I know how old school moms can be. They just want better for their child. They don't mean to be harsh. They don't mean to be anything like that. But she 23, 24 years old. Like, she could have just got her own apartment. You know, she was in school. They said she dropped out, which is kind of crazy because she was a real intelligent woman. But even though you're intelligent, school is not for everybody. They still can get stressed out. Like, they probably just don't want to be in school. They just did what they had to do in high school. So it's just kind of crazy. That was one theory. And then the other theory is sex trafficking, because they said what she disappeared at in East St. Louis. I know they call East St. Louis a bad city, we got a bad reputation. But anyways, they said ain't no telling what could have happened to her in East St. Louis. St. Louis really not no better. So it's kind of hard. You have St. Louis and East St. Louis, even though she's from Spanish Lake, it's real close to all this dangerous stuff. So anybody could have set her up or whatever. So, I mean, it happened so quick. It happened so quick. It happened less than 2 hours. It's like somebody had to set up or was following her or something like that. And they called the highway or whatever. The highway that she disappeared by, they say that's the sex trafficking highway of America. Like, which make it even harder to even know what happened to her. And then another theory is her boyfriend. So they gathered some new details and said they found out she had 2 phones. Like, her mom ain't know this, or anybody ain't know she had 2 phones until like 6-7 years later after they did the documentary. And her mom like, nah, she couldn't have had 2 phones. If she had 2 phones, she was doing it for a good reason, you know. That's what they thought. So they also say she had 2 boyfriends, which is crazy. So they said the first boyfriend, both of them name was Mike. They call another one Mike B. But they said the first boyfriend was like harassed, whatever, abusing her and things like that. And I know the day that she disappeared, they said they was talking for an hour. And when they interviewed or whatever, when they was talking with the boyfriend, he said he don't remember any other conversation that they had for a whole hour. So that's kind of crazy, but they said he was very straightforward, and they said he 100% ain't have nothing to do with it. So I really don't want to assume what happened, but it's just so many theories out there. And the other phone, they said came from the second boyfriend that she met at T-Mobile probably, and handed her a phone so he can text her and say she was living 2 different separate lives. So them the theories that we have, they're the only theories that I know. And out of 3, it's kind of hard to even say, because it was so much that was going on, and then they released a video of her being so stressed out, like she wanna, they said her mom said they changed things up in that video, which what was said about her wasn't truly, you know, it wasn't her. They said she ain't say things like that. So ain't no telling what to believe. That I can believe it because it just make their views go up. So she probably ain't say what she said in the video. In the video, they said she said she wished things can go back to the old, the old her and things like that. So ain't no telling what happened to her that day. The car, like I said, oh yeah, that was one interesting fact. They said who called to have the car impounded, they don't even know. It was anonymous, which is kind of crazy because I think whoever called that car anonymous had something to do with it. So they wanted to probably get rid of that car quick as possible to hide the evidence. So it's like they need, man, I wish they can track that phone down and see who was it. Because whoever called that, whoever called to have the car impounded that fast, most likely had something to do with it. And they call anonymous, like, especially in East St. Louis, who really cared about a car being on the side of the road? It don't affect you. So it's like, man, whoever called that to have the car impounded after the car, the car was abandoned, whoever had, man, they just had some. That's what I think. That's my opinion. They had something to do with it, because ain't no way a car sitting on the side of the road and you call and say it's a car sitting on the side of the road need to be impounded or whatever. No, especially in East St. Louis. It's not, nobody worried about a car in East St. Louis. Either you gonna get that in the next 3 days or something like that. So, man, ain't no telling what happened to Phoenix. I'm really sad about this story because I've been keeping up. I've been keeping up with this story for a little minute now. I just heard about this story a year from, well, not a year, but like a couple months ago, and it just can't leave my mind because I used to stay in that area where she disappeared at, and like she been gone for almost nearly like 10 years. So for like December will make it 10 years. So she been gone for like 9 years and 9 months, and it just kind of crazy because, man, I just hope she be found, man. I just hope she's still out there. I hope it ain't no tragedy ending or whatever. If she can be found, her family just want something to be found just to have some type of closure. It's sad to say, but they gotta have some type of closure. We just need something we just need some new evidence on this case because it's just crazy. So anyways, that's a story right there. Prayers to her and her family, and I'm out of here.